of inbound, a lady that needs no introduction at all. You may need to learn how to pronounce her name like I did. Lica Wouters, which is great. Lica is an admin of the year. She's also in the 10K pitch competition, and we're at inbound, and I've already lost my voice screaming about how amazing she is. I wanted to ask you a couple questions. The first one being the 10K pitch competition. I was raving to you about this last night. What was that process like of building out a solution? You had said the first time you did it, you were nervous in front of the judges, and I said, however much prep you put into looking natural worked, because it was amazing. Talk about that a little bit and the solution that you actually presented.
Well, I think this is the third time Super hosted a pitch, and I did last year as well. That was my first time, and I was so incredibly nervous when I did it. And so this time around, I was like, okay, I just gotta come back and be a little bit better prepared.
What was the solution? It was described as a micro agent.
Yes.
And you used Super and Ask Elephant to build it. Yes. I was floored. The judges seemed very impressed. Talk about the solution a little bit.
So we really spent a lot of time last year on unstructured data. I realized very early on that in order to run all this AI on everything that we have, you need to sort. So I used an AI agent to kind of tag and sort our unstructured data. And we also built solutions for sales and solutions for customer success, but having things sorted just makes everything a little bit more scalable. And it really came from a need of my own. So.
And how did Super and Ask Elephant play into that?
Ask Elephant does the transcription. Ask Elephant, the requirement was to also use their HubSpot agent, which is amazing. Because it allows you to use AI to get context from your HubSpot CRM. I really, truly believe that you cannot move with AI without having some kind of process in place. That's why I'm really excited that Super came out with process boards. So, yeah.
Yeah. So you just mentioned process rules with Super. We, yesterday, at the perfect timing, launched process boards.
Yes.
And I don't know if it was an early adapter, beta tester, but I know you got to kind of use them in the solution. And talk about that. You mentioned during the pitch it was revolutionary, and that was the thing that was coolest to hear as somebody that's relatively new to the Super team is the impact and genuine feeling of transformation that some of the stuff, especially process boards, can do for an organization.
Well, so last year was a bit of a comeback story. It was how I used Super to kind of turn the business around. And what I had to do is I had to overhaul my processes. I'm still a very small team. So in order for me to bring on people and to scale, I need to remove myself from the actual process. And that also means that I have to be able to monitor what other people are doing when I'm replacing myself. And there's no better way than process boards. It's right there in your face.
Process rules for me, as somebody that tries to describe it, my mom works in insurance and compliance. And so I don't know if that's a good way. How would you describe that? It's process adoption, it's process enforcement, it's process analytics now with specifically deals that we may have lost. Why? And what aggregates to? Well, you didn't send a recap, you know which reps are doing that. I'll let you describe, you've worked a lot more with it than I have, but is that pricing and compliance? Is it enforcement? How would you describe it?
I think it's all of the above, which is why it's so powerful. What I have been extremely ecstatic about, and shout out to Super Steve, is having it available for the objects library, the Surface object.
One last thing as a bonus here. Talk about the thing that stuck out to me. Talk about turning the business around. You said a comeback story. Talk James Byrne yesterday, hearing from the customers, he said that he took a salary or invested in Super before he took a salary, which is insane, right? Hearing that type of impact that it had and the decision willingly to do that, is that similar to your comeback story? If you want to give us a brief, what that looked like?
Well, I don't know if you can use this as a soundbite, but when I spoke to Blake about Super, my first question was, what's your cancellation policy like? Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it next month.
Yeah.
So, and he was like, don't worry, we'll help you. And I have to say, Super's been fantastic in helping partners. I know that was a huge chunk of the mission, and I think they accomplished it.
Lica, thank you very much for doing this.
Stay awesome, stay super.